Hi there, Remi Kuti. Thank you for being in conversation with me. Hyacinth Fraser, Property in Action. Remi, just talk to us about who you are, what you do, how you got into property.
My name's Remi Kuti. I've been an entrepreneur since early age. From a young age that I've always wanted to be in business. Always said to myself that I'm going to own my own business. I can remember from the age of 8 that I've always wanted to do something, and I was always creative in whatever I did. Even though I remember going to school and buying sweets and then selling sweets on. So there's always something in me that says that I'm worth more than what I am, basically, and I can create something. So growing up in my life, I started various business from an early age, even down to just being a window cleaner, but starting my own window cleaning business from a young age. I'd gone to college, I'd done all of that. It wasn't for me, going to college. And then I started a business in telecoms when it first started. In telecoms, I started a least cost routing. I knew nothing about it, but I started that business and aligned that with a telecom business, mobile telecommunications in the early days when mobile phones was something of a niche market. It wasn't for everyone. On which I grew that business from nothing. And I remember it, and we read books about this, I started from my kitchen. I had nothing, no stock, no nothing like that. But what I did was advertise and sold and put the money back in the business, which I grew that business to over a long period of time anyway, to about 60 staff from nothing.
Remi, tell us something about your mindset. So you said you've been an entrepreneur since a very early age, maybe since about 8, I think you said.
Yeah. My mindset, that's a good question, because I never questioned my ability. I think the teachers did question my ability, because I was one of those kids that couldn't sit still. I was one of those that would always question other people's decisions. If you're told that you can't do it, it was, why not? Why can't I do it? And I think in school they try and put you in a box, but in school I didn't fit in that box. I knew that I didn't fit in that box. I think that I'm different from other people. I didn't really want to follow suit of what everyone else was doing. I always wanted to do something different. So coming from, my parents were hard working people coming from Nigeria, Africa. And so we have that work ethic in us, basically, to work hard to succeed. In order to get anything, you need to work hard. So I've always been a worker. I've never been shy of work. So what you put in is what you get out. So I've always wanted to be, well, money has no prejudice in my eyes. And I just believe that as long as I can pay for something, I can have anything I want in life. Do you understand? Go where I want to do, eat in the best places, wear the best garments or whatever, like that. So I've just got a strong belief. It doesn't matter. Colour doesn't come into it or anything like that. So it's just moving forward.
Strong belief in yourself, hard work ethic, not taking no for an answer, making a decision you're going to do something and you get on and you do it. So talk to us then about your journey into property.
Well, basically I had 30 years of working in the telecom industry, built up 5 to, I can't remember the numbers now, about 5 to 10 shops I built up. And from there, we built up a call centre of 60 staff, moved on from there, and I started to get tired or bored of doing what I was doing, because then we started more compliance and all regulations were starting to come in it, and it was starting to put me in a box which making me feel uncomfortable. Within that, I started to look at different things, at different strategies. What can I do next? What's my next move? So whilst holding on to the business on one side of it, my foot was, or my eyes was somewhere else, looking at something. And then, as you do, you search the internet and look at what is it for you. You've got to find a purpose. You've got to find a why. What suits you? What do you think, Remi, at this age? What can you do? So 2012, I decided to dip into property. It was always something I was interested in. A lot of friends were in it, but they got burnt in 2008, where the crash was. And fortunate enough for me, I had a property. I'd split with my partner and had 2 kids. The kids were actually growing older, and I needed a bigger place. I didn't know what I was actually doing at the time. I purchased I had a 1-bed property, and the equity growth had grown over 10 years. And I was told that I could draw some money out of that and put it into another property. So what I actually did was took some money out, bought I bought a 2-bed property on a private estate, which was, I couldn't believe that I'd actually been able to do this. Now I'd actually fallen accidentally a property investor. I'd got 2 properties from nothing. And it was like, well, hold on a minute. This is what I could do, because I've got the other property, it's been managed, so there's no pressure on that side. I've got another property, now I've got £1 million worth of property. And yeah, without really making any effort or doing any work at all. So then I just started going to networking events, enrolled on some mentoring courses and that, and started to learn a little bit more, and found out that I could purchase properties up north a lot cheaper than what they are in London. And I just went, right, what I'm going to do is take some more money out of the refinance and buy more properties. So I went out like as if I was a lady doing shopping. So
you were a man doing shopping in property.
Shopping in property. So I'd go, I left that one, because it was so cheap. But at the same time, I was learning as well, because it was new to me. And you pay for all these courses and the training and everything. Sometimes the training is not what it is. The trainers are not in there. They're there to release you of your money at the same time. That's the bit I didn't like about it. But because the way my mind is set, I'm sort of 2 steps ahead all the time. I like to be 2 steps ahead and understand the whole process of what's actually going on. But on the property side, it works. I got a management company in to manage those property up north. Then I started investing in off-plan. Got in contact with a company that they actually see 3 to 10 years ahead of what's actually going on, regeneration, the government putting money in certain areas. So I was able to do a few flips at the same time, and earn a big chunk of money from doing the flips. So now I'm becoming an investor. Without even realising.
So still up north, or have you come further south? Where did you do that?
This was the flips was doing in London, in South. So Croydon was doing mostly around that area, Slough area as well. So a lot of investments going in all of those areas. So I was able to do that, and before completion, able to flip the property at the same time. So which actually worked for me.
So you said you got in contact with a company that see whatever 5-10 years ahead. How's that company helped you, or driven your strategy?
Well, it actually gave me the situation why I got into developments and off plan. It was for me a no-brainer yet again, because it was something like putting money down. Percentage that you put down was only about 5% that you pay over 30 days. Then you don't pay for another 6 months, but you see the development going up. But whilst that's going up, you can actually the equity growth in that development goes up at the same time. So you're not paying for 2 years, so it's an 18-month development or 24 months development on there. So by that time, if the financial situation wasn't good for me, over 2 years, that's how I saw it at the time, I could sell it. It doesn't always work for people, but this actually worked because it was London at the same time. So the situation, I was able to sell it before completion, before putting the bulk of the money down, making a tidy profit.
Okay. All right. So what is your strategy now in property? Is it the same? Is it flex? What is it now?
Well, the strategy was, after I built up a portfolio of about 3 million portfolio. The thing is about that, personally, that you stand personal guarantee, your credit rating gets hit. So I decided to change again my strategy and decide that I'd come across service accommodation, which I was trained by Ross Malaloo. And I thought, this is a great idea. This is much better for me, much better suited, because the amount of money that you needed to start up was a lot different than buying, getting a mortgage, doing your credit checks and all of that, all those difficulties that you have to go through. And you can acquire a lot more properties a lot quicker than normal. So decided to take it further with that and understand that model of service accommodation, because it's like boutique hotels. That's how I looked at it, and scattered about. And if you do your homework right, you can really hit this off well. So I invested in myself and going on a course, met Ross, and we became close friends. And he taught me the strategy and service accommodation. So I set off getting service accommodation in Canary Wharf and scattered about basically in London.
Okay.
And that's how I got into service accommodation.
Okay, lovely. So we've spoken quite a lot about your journey and your range of strategies over time. What are some top tips, Remi, that you'd give to some young people who really wants to become involved, invest in property?
First of all, I'd say it's not easy. Most people will think, oh, just get a property and it's easy. Whatever you're doing, whatever business that you actually do, it's always hard work. You have to put the work in, no matter what, and it's never going to be overnight. You can't just start getting into property, service accommodation, buying and selling, landlord or whatever, and expect things to change your life in the space of 6 months to a year. You've got to go through that. It's the growth, it's the change, mindset, and everything that you need to be able to adapt to. Do you understand? Not every day is a good day. You might have a tenant that's not paying rent, or all these situations, or issues with your property. It can happen. But for a younger person on there, I would say, from what I've learned now over life, from an early age, it's education. It's learning. We're always learning. And the importance is to always learn new things. They may not come to use at this present stage, but they will come at some stage where you can refer to that, you can use that knowledge that you've actually learned.
So constant education is really important.
And children don't like it. They don't believe in it because they don't know why. But at that stage, that the education that they've learned has gotten to this stage where they are in their life. But it's now getting yourself on the next step or on the next ladder that you need to get to. It doesn't matter what it is. You need to learn something new to keep growing as a person. Because the day you stop learning as you get older, and youngsters won't know it, when they get to 70, 80, if they make those sort of ages, when I think that you stop growing, you stop learning, that's when you start dying. Do you understand? So it's constantly keep moving. In life, you have to keep moving and don't give up, no matter whatever your struggles are. You can overcome those struggles. And for a youngster, is to get a mentor. Is to actually get a mentor, somebody to guide them, because you're from 16 to 18, you think you're an adult, and you think that you don't need anybody else. You know better than anyone older than you that's travelled that journey, but you've not really lived.
Where will they get a mentor from, do you think? I know you can probably think family, friends. Where else?
Right, that's a good one. They say
Yeah,
surround. So, to things that come to mind that your parents used to say to you: "Show me your friends, and I'll show you who you are."
absolutely.
Do you understand? Never be the biggest person in the room,
Hmm.
and that means never be the biggest person. It means that if everyone else is, I don't even like to say underneath you, don't be the smartest person in the room, yeah,
Mm.
because you'll never learn. Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you want to be. You want to be the person who's not the smartest, that you can learn from bigger people. So
Yes.
you have to ask yourself, what is your passion and what is your why? At a young age, do we have a why? But I obviously had a why at a young age, because I wanted what everyone else had, and I didn't understand why my parents couldn't afford what everyone else had. So my why was strong enough. All right, so if I can't have what other people have, I'm going to make it happen for myself.
And actually, that's a good question. What is your why? Why do you want to get into property as a
I,
young person? As a young person,
I
that's a
tell
good
you,
question.
that is a very good question. I think that it sort of hit me when I was about 30, when I had my kids, and life wasn't about me anymore.
Mm.
Well, life was about, I've got my children, and it's more important for me to make sure they have a better life than what I had,
Yeah,
and they don't have to want. So
yeah.
that drive me, that gave me that drive to
Mm.
move further on. That gave me that push.
So important to have a why. And also the other thing, just to come back to, you said education, get a mentor. I think there's something about going to networking groups, which you can just Google and find networking groups, or there are loads of Facebook property
Yeah,
groups. I'm just talking about the range of options that people might
yeah,
want to tap into.
yeah. The the, the, the networking groups. This is quite. It's a touchy point for me
Yeah,
on
yeah,
networking groups, because networking groups is like, for me, it's like a holding pen. They're all these people in this place, and they want, wherever they are in their life, um, they want to make a change, but they
yeah,
don't know how to. Do
yeah,
you
yeah,
understand? So it's a situation that you're just held in this pen until you understand that I've grown. I need to move away from it and
yeah,
step up.
yeah,
It's okay that you go to these networks. What are you actually doing now?
yeah,
What are you doing at these networks? So you just networking is the word networking, because I was one of those people who was very stubborn and didn't believe in it. And why have I got to go there and tell people about my business and whatever? And what am I trying to achieve
yeah.
from it? So it's a mindset that we have to break and understand that that being in a network is very important, to be with like-minded people first of all.
Absolutely,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
important. So people are not going to like, what are you trying to do? People don't love it. Oh, you'll never do that. It
Yeah,
doesn't happen in networking groups. On your friends that you've grown up with, and you tell them that I want to start a property portfolio or business, or that side, I want to get into property. They'll probably tell you, though, because they don't do it, what you're talking about. Just get a
yeah.
job.
You
And
need to be, yeah, you need to be around like-minded people. I
yeah,
think
it's very
that's
important.
really important.
Yeah.
I mean, if people wanted to make contact with you to hear a little bit more, is there anywhere particularly that you can make contact with you?
Yeah,
I'm
you
thinking
can find me on
Facebook or
Facebook. You can find me on Facebook. You can find out. You can find me on LinkedIn.
yeah,
You can private message me.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's for me, that to understand what life is about. I've been through all the struggles. Don't worry about that. So I'm nothing special. Um, so, and I understand where people are coming from.
yeah,
So that's the first point, that people are they're trying to change their life. They're not happy with what they're actually doing, and they want that foot on the ladder. Not everyone's going to help you. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of networking groups have their own agenda. I feel personally, Ross is one of the genuine guys out there, and I've always said he's one of the genuines, because he's not chasing money. When people chase money, that's where the problem is. Yeah, do you understand? So I
mm,
want to get the property because I'm chasing money. that's not good enough for me. Yeah,
that's not a good enough why to get into property.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. Or because my friend's doing property, so I want to get in. But no, that doesn't work, because when rubbish happens, I was going to swear there, but when rubbish happens, it's not going to get you out of bed. Your passion is not strong enough. Your why is not strong enough to get you out of bed. Why do I need to get out of bed? I'll tell you why I need to get out of bed. I need to feed my kids. I don't care if it's raining, snowing, cold, or whatever it is, and how much trouble it is, and I've got a property up north, and I've got the roofs collapse or whatever. Do you understand? I need to get out of my bed, and I need to go to that place and deal with the problem. If you're just doing it because so-and-so is doing it, making money, any excuse to say, I can't be bothered, is there.
Do you know
you're just
what?
Going to waste your time.
Yeah, I think, Remi, we're going to end where we started. And that is actually, if you're going to get into property, be prepared to work hard and know what your why is. And so
any business doesn't matter. Don't just do it just because I like this today. Do it because you're passionate about it and you're willing to stick in and go the full hog, the full road, whatever it is that you need it. And your why has got to be compelling enough to you. Why do I need to do it? Do you understand? That is not because of other people, because of you. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Remi. That was so helpful. So what I'd ask people to do is subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos.
Okay. Thank you very much.